Hey everybody, uh, I wanted to react to the big news. Cristiano Ronaldo going back to Manchester United. I was super excited when I saw that news because I just have all those fond memories of Ronaldo at United. And in front of playing with Rooney and Sir Alex Ferguson and Ryan Giggs and just that whole crew. And there were just Martin Tyler commentaries and on Sky Sports and just watching him just dominate. That was like the golden days for United. So just really happy to see that happen. Um, I think I didn't think he was gonna go back to United at all. I mean honestly till about a week or two ago we thought he was just gonna stay at Juventus, and you could tell they didn't want him anymore. I think they would have kept him, but overall Juventus was just as happy to leave as Ronaldo was happy leaving. And there was reports, Mendez's agent was just like trying to get him out of there, just trying to get him out of there. And, he's proposing to PSG, he's proposing him to Man City, and I ultimately I'm a PSG fan, and I thought it was interesting that PSG wasn't more interested because he's one of the two biggest brands in football with Messi, right? And they just got Messi, and I thought just pairing him up with Ronaldo would have been perfect in terms of just what they're trying to do, which is create a bigger image for the PSG club. They're not strictly like PSG's a lot of business, and results are important too, and they're trying to win the Champions League, but they're also trying to get players who are a brand. And I thought getting Ronaldo would have been huge in terms of that, but yeah, I mean there wasn't that much noise around PSG either, so it looked like it was going to be City. I don't know what happened, but it didn't happen. I was surprised it was going to be City because, City does need a striker, so I'll give you that. City, needed a striker. It would have been a good fit from that standpoint. But playing with Pep Guardiola and how Guardiola's trying to be, you know, he's not trying to have any like so far the way they've recruited, they haven't tried to recruit any big stars because they're not trying to have like anybody bigger than the club. They're trying to minimize the big egos, and I think Pep Guardiola is kind of all about that. I remember at Barca he got Zlatan out of there, and so and then PSG. I mean, you look, they recruit the Neymars, the Mbappes, I mean, Mbappe's not a huge ego, but now the Messi. It's just there's always been a lot of egos at PSGs and at PSG. Um, so in terms of Ronaldo, I think it kind of makes sense that City didn't go strongly. They make a greater push. There was other, contractual stuff and financial stuff is why he didn't go to City. But ultimately, that he ends up in United, I just think for the world of football, it's just great news. I think for Ronaldo, I think he's probably really happy to be back in Man United. And I think, just in terms of competitivity, I think United this year is now I think is the title contender. I think in the Premier League there's four teams. It's Chelsea, it's Liverpool, it's Man United, and it's Man City. And I think those are the four teams that can win it all. And um, getting Ronaldo just really solidifies Manchester United. I really like their front three. With Cavani, Sancho, and him. Cavani and him are older, but again, those players. There's certain players that age well, and there's certain that you're just wondering, like are they completely done? And Cavani and Ronaldo probably have the two best work ethics, and they take care of their bodies extremely well. So although they're not the same as they were when they were 27 or even 31, I think they're going to be still really really good for United, especially Ronaldo. I mean, his like his professionalism is just off the charts. So he could easily play into his 40s. Well, maybe not in his 40s, but like close to his 40s. I still think he's got 2 to 4 good years. He's a lot like LeBron, where he and Tom Brady, where they just endure much more than you'd think they're capable of. Um, so I think it's a good move. I really think it's a good move for United. I look at their team; it's a pretty complete team. Um, Their left back, Luke Shaw, and then the right back Bisaka. I think those aren't, they're not the best backs in the world, but they're pretty good. And then you look at, they have Pogba, um, they have Bruno Fernandes, Martial, Rashford. I think they could do better at defensive midfielder, but they added Varane too, which I thought was a huge pickup to pair with Maguire. I like De Gea, so yeah. I mean, I think United just did a great job recruiting. The big three additions: Sancho, Varane, and now Ronaldo. I just think all of them just are a huge addition to United. So I could see them compete. I can see them compete with those three other teams. I don't think they're going to win it all, but I think it's going to be. I think they have a chance. I'm not honestly the biggest thing with United that I'm not a big fan of is probably Ole Solskjaer. I think he's a good coach, but I don't think he's a great coach. And when you look at the three other teams, they just have better coaches, and I think they have as much talent, if not more, than United. And I think the other teams have more prime players in their prime years than United does. But look, I love Pogba, I love Cristiano Ronaldo, I love Cavani, I love Sancho. So I think Varane. So I think Man United could do it. I don't think they're gonna do it, but I think they can do it. The talent is there. The question is how well everything's gonna come together, and how well they're gonna be able to defend as a team. Um, but from and also from the Juventus standpoint, you could tell. I mean, they didn't want to keep him. They were happy letting him go. I don't think Allegri wanted him. His press conference, he didn't. I don't know. He didn't seem like he seemed almost happy to see him go. So Allegri, I don't think cared. I think Juventus. I think the project was kind of coming to an end there. You look at. I think they made some mistakes with giving such big contracts to Rabiot and Ramsey, and and then with COVID hit, they weren't able to reinforce the team as much. Now I think that's why they didn't win last year either, is because they weren't able to reinforce the team as they usually do. And so I think, once Ronaldo's kind of seen that trend, he went to Mendez's agent and he's just tried to get him out of there and get him somewhere else where he can on a more competitive team. And I think United, I think United was a good choice. I don't. I still think he would have been perfect in terms of. I think he would have been better in terms of winning at City, but for football, just like as a soccer fan, it's just a beautiful story to see him go, seeing it go full circle and having come back to Manchester United. Um, I think like I said, they're going to be extremely competitive, and I think it's just good to see players, just build like a historical like relationship with their clubs, and so I think the Ronaldo to United move does that. And I thought another thing that's interesting is that PSG wasn't interested in Ronaldo again, because I thought they would be. And I wonder how much implication that has on the Mbappe move, whether or not he's going to leave PSG, because if PSG style Mbappe were planning on selling him to Real Madrid for the reporting 180 million, you'd think that PSG would have tried to get Ronaldo, but it seems like PSG's kind of in a Haaland or bust mode right now. It's like either we get Haaland and we sell Mbappe, or we're just gonna keep Mbappe and be okay with him leaving at the end of the summer. So because I could have I would have thought that they would have reached out to Ronaldo, because I thought he would have been a perfect replacement just for 1 year for Mbappe, and then you can use that 180 million to try to get Haaland, but they didn't do that. And also, you would have thought Paris was a perfect city for Ronaldo, that he would have pushed, that he would have wanted to go there, play with Messi. Um, so yeah, I thought that was strange. So Man United definitely wasn't for me. I didn't think he was gonna go there. I didn't think it was the most likely, his most likely destination. But I'm really happy it's United. Like, I'm not even a big Man United fan, but just as I said, for football all around, I think it's a great thing. I'm a huge Ronaldo fan. Like, Ronaldo's, for me, is arguably the best player of all time. Um, what he, winning the Euros with Portugal. That's pretty hard to do with Portugal, right? Like that's not a major nation like France, Italy, or Germany. And then you got those four Champions Leagues in 5 years at Real Madrid. I mean, that's unheard of. I think he has four golden balls. So yeah, for me, what I love about Ronaldo is how many clutch. Like he just seems like he has so many clutch goals in his career. Um, so many clutch goals. So that's one of the reasons I like him a little bit more than Messi. But I mean, you can't go wrong with either. And I'm a PSG fan, so Messi just signing. But I've always been a little bit more of a Ronaldo fan, and I love his work ethic, his professionalism. Like I said, I think, yeah, he's got a big ego, but I think he backs it up, and you can tell the guy wins and he competes at the highest level. So I just think for United, their culture, I think it's going to be great, and I'm just really eager to see him back in the Premier League, in such a competitive league, and see what United does. I really hope United can, yeah, I mean, can be very competitive and towards the top and compete for that title. I think, like I said, it's between those four teams. A lot of people have Chelsea winning it because they just came off a Champions League win. Um, City. There's a chance City just gets. It's hard to win back to back, and I think the Premier League is so competitive. I could see City just take a step back in terms of talent. They're just as good as last year, if not better. Right? I mean, they added Grealish. Um, so I think City's just as good as they were last year, if not better. But I just think, in terms of repeating from year to year, it's pretty difficult just mentally. For 38 weeks to put in that grind and be consistent. And I think a team like Liverpool, who wasn't as good last year, a team like Manchester United or Chelsea, was a lot of momentum. I think those teams are going to be hungrier, and I think one of those three teams is going to beat Man City out for the title. But I do think City is the favorite. Um, but I would play the field rather than just bet on City winning the title, especially now that Ronaldo's in Man United, because I think he's just going to have um, a contagious effect on the rest of that team. I think he's going to make Pogba better. I think he's going to make Cavani better. I think he's going to make Sancho better. I think Rashford, the Martials are not going to have as much pressure. Greenwood, Paul Pogba, you name it. I think defensive midfielders my one concern for them, but and then as I said, the fullbacks will be a little better, but overall you got a really good team, and can Solskjaer do it? Can he prove himself as one of the big coaches in this league? We'll see. And so that's you know uh, that's going to be the challenge for United, and that's why I'm surprised he went there, because I think it's more of a challenge than City is. But as a neutral observer, as a fan, it's just going to make the Premier League that much better, and seeing that story come full circle back at United, that's just awesome. So, anyways, I'm really looking forward to this year, this soccer year, and and seeing how this transfer window comes to an end. And hey, thanks for watching, and I wish you guys a great end of the summer. All right, bye guys.